What up, everybody? Staying with Lawrence coming in today from Branson Station. Here to check it all out. It's cool. And this is your 5 minute report from Branson. Well, I'm going to talk about being grand and being such, I know, craziness. Let me flip the camera around. I have to say, if you're listening to this podcast, you should totally be watching these 5 minute reports. They come out on YouTube. They're coming out on my channel, Real Dan Greer. You should be checking all these out no matter where you're at. So today I want to chat a little bit about being grand and being central. So let's think about this. What does being grand mean? Being grand means central what? It's doing something everybody else does. I have to say, like, I've heard a lot of these places. I've been in a lot of what we expected places. So recently. This one is really kind of awe-inspiring. When you look at, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit on the molding. You look at the molding of the windows, like around the top of it, like each one of the moldings is unique. And when you get the ceiling, there's pictures up on the ceiling. They kind of look like constellations, in all out honesty, is what they look like. And it's a very awe-inspiring place. And not to mention, the cats from Madagascar, the giraffe, Alex the lion, the zebra, Marty, they were all in here. That's where they came out of the subway at. But there's something in your life about being graded, right? And then there's also something in your life about having a centralized part of your life. And so for me, the grandest thing and most central thing to me is a forged in faith. And that means that, like, my center is wrapped up. No matter what. That's where I am. That's who I am. I'm not scared of it. That's why this podcast is what it is, right? That's why my life is what it is. That's why my book, Great Grease and Grace, has a very deep, deep Christian background. That's why there's a cross on cover, right? Because that's grand. And it's not to mention that it's grand in my life. Now, it's great that I have that centralized part of my life. But my question to you is, what are you doing in your life? It's great. Right? Are you learning? Are you growing? Are you pushing people more? Are you pushing forward? What are you doing to be better than you were yesterday? What are you doing to grow? What are you doing to improve yourself to become grander than the grand station you are? Right? What are you doing to that? How are you getting there? How are you improving that to yourself? How are you growing? Or two, where do you centralize that? Does your team know where to find you? Right? Does your team, do you have schedules set where your team can literally see where every single departure is going? See what I'm saying? I mean, you come into Grand Central Station, it can be chaotic, it can be confusing. There's a lot going on. It goes out 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 different ways. Stairs that go up and stairs that go down, and escalators that go up to the side, and there's road entrances, and there's all kinds of crap going on here. And so, yes, being grand is great, right? But you also have to have these lines of communication and dealing with this, just like this place does with where all the trains are going, what tracks they're living on, and where they depart from. Because otherwise, it's overwhelming to somebody when they come into your ecosystem. Whenever they find you, like, oh my God, there's so much going on. This guy is so big. But the truth is, this gal is so big. But the truth is that, like, if you don't have that line of communication, if you don't have that centralized level of communication, nobody can follow you. Nobody knows where you're going. Nobody knows where to go. Nobody knows how to get there. And so today I want to encourage you, and I want to know what you're doing to become grander. What is your grand central station that you're building right now? All right. This place wasn't built overnight, and it definitely takes a lot of maintenance to keep it up, to keep it going. You work exact same way. So what are you building right now that's grand? And then 2, what are you sitting there like that? How are you sitting there like that? 3, how's your communication? Does everybody know where the train's going? Can somebody look at it and know when they get to talk to you or what to talk to you about? Or do you have a straight line to go forward with? Do you see where I'm going with this? All right. That's your 5-minute forge. I want you all to go out, and I want you to make Grand Central Station look like chump change. All right? Cool. Catch you guys later.